everybody, I'm a Grandma Donna. No, not really. I'm not really Grandma Donna. I'm Donna, and I am Armenian, or High. So this is my first episode of Cooking High. If you are looking to learn how to cook Armenian food, this is not the place to do it. I am learning to cook Armenian food. I'm part of what they call the Armenian diaspora, which means I do not live in my ancestral homeland. I live in California. So, when I grew up in a place that didn't have very many Armenians, so I didn't grow up with all the food and a little bit, but not so much. Never learned to cook it. So, this is my attempt to learn Armenian food. I'm starting with a dish called Manti. My brothers are going to kill me because I grew up calling it Manti. So I don't know if it's a regional thing, a familial thing, whatever, but I'm going to call it Manti because everyone here calls it Manti, and now I'm calling it Manti. It's like a little yummy meat boat and broth, and there's goodness, like a yummy broth, and then there's yumminess on top. And then you eat it, but it's not a soup, but it's good. So that's what we're gonna make today. It's a big order. So if you wanna go on this journey with me, welcome aboard. No guarantees. Let's just see how it goes. So we are gonna start with the dough. And I took this recipe from about 3 or 4 different cookbooks, Armenian cookbooks, and some stuff online, and I wasn't thrilled with any one recipe, so I kind of picked what I liked out of the best of all of them and made my own version. But this was my first go-to. You can see it's well loved. It's held together by a little clip because there's nothing left here. I think every Armenian American family has this book, Treasured Armenian Recipes. And this was probably my grandmother's, and it is mine now, held together by a binder clip. For our ingredients for the dough, we have 3 1/4 cups of flour, a cup of warm water, an egg in a porcupine, and salt. And it's just a couple pinches of salt. So that's it for the dough. Okay, so I am going to cheat a little bit and use my KitchenAid with my dough hook because I'm not going to knead it by hand. And just going to pour that in. Egg. Okay. Oh, shh. Believe it or not, I am a reasonable cook, but you may not know that. You may never learn that. So I'm going to start with I'm going to put all the water, what the heck. And then a pinch or 2 of salt. Pinch. Okay. I've never used the dough hook. Okay, so I'm going to go slow so the flour doesn't go everywhere. I'm going to grab a little guy here to kind of smush it down. I know I shouldn't do it while it's running, but I'm going to. From my understanding is you want the dough to be smooth and kind of hold together. So now that it's kind of incorporated, I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Oh, I don't know how high. Maybe there. I don't know. So we're going to let this go for a little bit until it's smooth and holds together. So I'm doing this and I touched it and it's super sticky. I don't know. I think it needs a little more flour. So you just kind of have to guess from what I understand. You have to kind of just mess with it till you get what you want. Okay, cross your fingers. Go. Woo! See, I don't take my own advice by starting slow. Okay, there we go. Oh, I think this is going to be better. I think it's not going to because I was just sticking to the dough hook like it is now. Feel it. Oh no, I think it's getting better. See, it's a little jaggedy still, but I'm gonna put just a hair more flour. I hope I don't make it tough, but sometimes you just gotta try. Oh my gosh, okay. That's the thing here. Again, I'm learning. You're learning with me, or you're not learning with me. You're just watching me make a fool of myself. So I think that's going to be it for the flour for now. So a little story about Manta or Manti. My family we never made like real Manta or Manti. I'm going to say Manti because that's what I grew up saying. So we grew up having this mock Manti. It's kind of like I'd say it's almost like a stroganoff-y kind of thing. You had noodles, you had meat, you had the broth, you had the madzun, which is a yogurt mixture on top, and it was funny because so the Armenian language is a very kind of guttural language. There's a lot of and so we would call it, just to mess with my mom, me and my brothers would call it Mach Manti. Oh, Mom, are we having Mach Manti tonight? And she'd go, God, you guys, stop it. Okay, this is looking really good. I think we're doing it. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to take it off. So I'm taking it off the dough hook. Okay. Oh. We've just begun, and oh my goodness. Okay, so it's still a little sticky, but I can fix this up. I'm putting some flour on the board, and I'm going to take this dough and kind of just get it, finalize it a little. It does need a little bit of finesse here, and it's sticking together nice. See how it's kind of smooth? It looks good. This is what I think it should be. So what I am going to do now is I am going to divide it into 4, and I'm going to divide it into 4, and then we have to let it rest for about an hour. So when we're letting it rest, we're going to do some of the other parts. So, okay. And I guess it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so we got our 4 little guys here, and there's a piece of eggshell. Wow, very impressive. I'm sure you're impressed. Okay, so now I'm kind of making them into little balls of dough, and I'm gonna set them onto the side. I have just a, what do you call that thing, a cutting board there, and then they have to, for eggshells. Wow, that's a first for me. I'm a better cook than that, believe it or not, and a better baker than that, but apparently not today. Okay, there we go. Bolio. Okay, so we're gonna clean this up and cover it with some cellophane, the little balls with cellophane, and let them rest. And while we're doing that, we're gonna get set up for the meat filling. So we're gonna make the meat filling now. I have a pound of ground beef. You can use ground lamb. You can use a combination. I love lamb, but I'm cheap, so I'm using beef. For the ingredients, a pound of ground meat, lamb or beef or a combo. We've got onions. Now this is a whole kind of medium yellow onion. I shredded it, and the reason I shredded it, I saw some dude do it, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea, because the amount of meat you're putting in your meatball, little meatball, is small, so you don't want big chunks of onion. So I grated it in the food processor because I didn't want to cry. Some chopped parsley, a little cat hair, and this is some paprika. maybe a teaspoon and a half, and salt and pepper. A lot of people use Aleppo pepper in here. I could find it at the, we have a lot of Armenian stores where I live, but they only sold like big, huge amounts of it, and I don't know if I'll ever use it again, so I didn't buy it. So I'm just using paprika. If you don't have Aleppo pepper, you can use paprika, both, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the onions. I don't know with a pound of meat if I wanna use all this onion. That seems, I love onions, but it seems kind of oniony. I don't know, we'll start there. I can also, there's onion juice there. There's a little parsley. That's maybe a couple of teaspoons. Oh, that's a little stem. And paprika. You know, the recipe I had said like a quarter teaspoon of paprika. Forget it. I like flavor. I'm going to put a little more. So this is probably about maybe a half a teaspoon. That's good. And then some salt. I don't know how much. That much. We can always take, well, we can't taste that. But in the broth we can't. And then a little ground pepper. And we'll do that. And then I'm just going to kind of mix it together with my hands, and maybe I'll put on a glove because it's, you know, just sanitary. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of mix this with my hands, which I think is really the best way to do, like when you're mixing stuff together with meat. It just kind of mixes better, and you kind of get an idea of, ooh, oniony. What's happening. So I'm just gonna make sure everything's really well incorporated. That's a big chunka, so I'm gonna take that out because I don't want a big chunka. There's another big chunka. Okay, that looks good. So I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna put it, I'm just taking out the chunks. I'm gonna put this in the fridge while we're still letting the dough rest, and then we're gonna make the broth, and then we are going to make the topping. So this is what it looks like, and off into the refrigerator it goes. So I'm actually gonna make the topping next. I don't know why, because I should do the broth, but I'm not. I'm gonna do the topping. Super easy. I have some chopped garlic here, and I am going to actually chop it a little finer. See, I got a little skill, a little bit. Just as fine as you can. If you can have a garlic crusher, which I don't own, that probably would be even better because then it's super smooth. So, look at those mad knife skills. Okay, so, and I'll get yelled at by some chef saying don't ever use your knife to scrape everything off the thing. I don't know if that's a rule, but I think it is. Anyway, okay, so we got some really fine garlic, and I'm just gonna put it right here in this bowl of full-fat Greek yogurt. We call it madzun. So that's what I've always called it, is madzun. And you just mix it together so it's garlicky. I don't know, what was that, like 2 cloves? If you like stuff really garlicky, go for it. You know, there's no rules. I mean, there might be, but whatever, I don't care. So that's that, and I'm gonna let that sit. I think part of the reason I decided to do this next is so it really has time for that garlic to kind of infuse into that really thick, yummy yogurt, madzun. So for the broth, I have seen many different combinations, so you can zhuzh it any way you want. For the broth, I am using unsalted chicken stock. You can use broth, but I do suggest, and you can use beef, you can use a combination of chicken and beef, you can use vegetable, I don't know. But I suggest you use either unsalted or low salt, and you can adjust the salt later because it can get pretty salty, like canned broth. So I have that. I have about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. You can use more, you can use less. We're gonna check it out and see what we like. Salt and pepper, and I have seen people use a lemon, and I'd like to try it. Sounds good. So you don't have to if you don't like lemon, but that's the other thing. So that's the broth. Okay, we are going to make the sauce now. So easy. Now, it's 4 cups of broth or stock. This happens to be 4 cups, so very easy. I'm just gonna pour it. Oh, I guess I should, well, let me pour it first. And then you're just gonna heat it. I would heat it on low because there's a lot of stuff you're gonna have to do first once the dough is done and assembling it. So let me throw that out. And oh, start that. There we go. I'm gonna start it on medium until it kind of warms up, and then I'll turn it down and just kind of put it on a small burner and let it go. I'm gonna do this in little chunks so it's not hard to break up because it is thick. I'm just gonna go blind here and do maybe a half a lemon, maybe a little less. You don't need all those fancy contraptions. You can get just a couple of the top ones, seeds out if you want. I'll throw this in there. And then what I do is I just squeeze it over my hand and it just dribbles out. Of course, you wash your hands before cooking. That is obviously a thing. So, okay, so we're gonna do that. And seeds. We're gonna kind of stir this up, and I'm hoping that as we heat it, it'll kind of soften up the tomato paste, but I don't know because I've never done this, so your guess is as good as mine. I think I use more Yiddish than I do Armenian because I don't really know Armenian. I know like a couple, it's not like I even know all the naughty words, but I do know some kid naughty words because and I know a couple sentences. Are you ready to be impressed? Here it goes. I'm sure I'm gonna butcher it, okay? Yes, anushig haigagan achjigem. So, for all you highs out there, you know, I'm sure I'm gonna hear about it, but that's what I know, because my mom told me that. And for you Odars, meaning non-Armenian people, you will just have to sit and cry your tears of sorrow that you may never know what I just said. Okay, so this is not really doing what I want it to do. So maybe I'll take this whisk, because, you know, we're learning. See if that kind of breaks up and incorporates the tomato sauce. And then I can taste it and salt and pepper it to taste. I guess I should do some because it's completely unsalted. Not now. Okay. I'm going to crank this bad boy and then heat it up and then turn it down to simmer. Okay. So let's see. A little salt. So it seems like it's incorporating. It kind of seems like there's not a ton of tomato in there, so I don't know how tomatoey it's going to taste. I do know that there are people that really like it much more tomatoey. So I'm going to take a little taste test. I'm going to teach you a little infection prevention. I learned this from watching cooking shows. You put one in the food and the one that goes to your mouth. Ooh, lemony. I would want more tomato. So this is my mouth one. This is my food one. More tomato sauce. I'll be right back. So I've got a hunk of more tomato sauce because I think it would be yummy tomatoey with the meat and the onions and all this stuff. So, so we're just going to give that a whirl. They always say that the first time you try a recipe, you're supposed to follow the recipe like to the letter, but I've never been a rule follower. Well, no, not really. I have some people fooled, but not so much. Anyway, so I'm going to make this a little more this way, and then I might add some more salt and pepper, probably. Ooh, it's spilling. Okay, let's give this a whirl again. Okay, we're gonna try this now. Broth. The food one, the mouth one. Boom. I want more salt and more pepper. A little salt, because that's like 4 cups of broth, so you need some salt. What the hell are you talking about? Okay, and a little more pepper. Not my favorite, not a huge black pepper fan, but let's give this a taste and see if we're where we want to be. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, let me start by saying, tasted the broth again? Not so much. So that went down the tubes, and so what I had here, I had no more of what I had before, but I did have some low sodium chicken broth, which every Armenian has in their cupboard all the time in bulk. And so I had enough of that, used that. The tomato sauce, the salt in there was already right because it was low salt. It was perfect. And then a little pepper, and that's it. And it's actually so much better. So on lemon, you know, you like it, you do you, whatever. So I am going to start rolling out the dough. I'm scared, never been good at it, but you know, I can bake stuff. I can bake a cake. You know, I make a good eclair even. But bread and bread-related products, not so much. Okay. Okay, so we are going to start with one of our bread doughs. I'm going to keep the rest kind of covered so they don't get all hard. So look at how cute is that. So I'm going to put it on the thing, just a little bit of flour. Okay, so when I've seen people do this before, they have this big, long, you know, nice, gorgeous wood rolling pin. I have all sorts of rolling pins, and I don't have one like this. So I went to Home Depot. I got a dowel, cut it in half, sanded it down, washed it good, and we got this. So this is its inaugural event. So I'm just gonna kind of start by doing this, because why not? So I will tell you, I'm kind of doing it the real way by making my dough myself. But a lot of people, and there's no shade here, if you use wonton wrappers. So a lot of people use wonton wrappers. I think they probably like have to cut them in quarters or something. I'll make some more flour here. Ooh, this is actually good. I think my problem when I deal with dough things is that I don't have the patience to let it rest. Like, it's supposed to be pretty thin, so think of a wonton wrapper. You're going to want to do something. I think this is a little fat. This is the size a little fat, and this size looks pretty good. About the thickness of a wonton wrapper. I don't even know what that is. What, 1/16 of an inch, maybe? And then I am going to cut them into little squares. About a 1/2 inch by another 1/2 inch. And the tool for that best is a pizza roller, because it's super easy. You don't have to be perfect with it, because we're gonna make boats, little happy boats. Okay, so this is actually looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna be okay with this. Okay, we'll see what's going on. So I've got my trusty pizza cutter here. I did see someone once use a roller like this to make a straight line, but really? Okay, so, okay, I'm gonna kind of cut off this little chunk-a-munk here. And then what is that? Like about an inch, just about, okay, like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Okay. Scary. I do like the sound. Listen to that. Wait, hold on. Pretty cool. Okay, I think I can get one more guy out of here. Okay, so these little guys, whatever. No good. I could probably, if I do it like this, start it there, I could get a couple of these center ones. And that's about a square there. Ooh, good. Okay. And I promise I won't put you through the torture of watching me do this with the other 3 rolls. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna do this now. I'm scared. I'm gonna get the meat out of the fridge and we are gonna start making our little Manti. So I've got my little squares, my first ball I've rolled out of little squares. I've got the meat here and everything's had some time to kind of get to know each other in there. So this is, okay, we're just gonna go in. I have no idea how big. You put like a little ball of meat in the middle and then you pinch it and make a little boat. I'm not sure how much meat. I don't know. So I'm gonna just guess because I really haven't, I guess maybe that much and then roll a little ball. Does that seem like too much? Do you think I could pinch this? Maybe the next one I'll do a little less. I don't know. I'm very confused. Okay. Okay, we're gonna keep going. And I'm just gonna fill these all up with little balls and then we're gonna do some pinching. We've got our thing, we put the little balls in. Not 100% sure how much to put because, so some of the smaller ones have smaller, but we're just gonna see because we kind of have a variety here. How much meat. So what we're gonna do is let's start with this one because that's like a perfect square. We're gonna take up this little guy and we're gonna make him into a little boat. Now this, I could be wrong and I'm sure I'll get ridiculed, but I think that this is the traditional Armenian way. You basically pull up the sides and pinch, and you got a little boat. A pan with parchment paper, and then you just make them all and you line them up, and then we're gonna bake it. So we're gonna do another little boat guy, up with the sides, pinch. So easy. Now I've seen another technique. I don't know if this is like, you know, people in Lebanon do it this way, and I don't know, you know, so, because obviously, depending on the country or the area you're from, people do it different. But traditionally, in Armenian cuisine, I've always seen it this little boat shape, and it's cute. And then you get the little, like, crunchy bits on the end. So I'm going to show you the other technique I learned. It's, you just basically take, oh, this got a lot of meat. This one. I think you would probably need less meat for these to make these work. So you're going to take corner to corner, pinch, and then corner to corner and come up to the rest and pinch again. So it's like a little dumpling. It's like a little dumpling guy. So it's got his 4 little pockets so that the steam can escape. I'm going to put him over here. I think what I'm going to do is do maybe mostly this because this is Armenian and we are cooking high here. And we are learning to be a proper Armenian. So I'm going to do most of them this way, but I am going to do a couple so we can try them and see what the texture's like, what the meat is like, and what we like better. So I think this one might be a little full. So, you know, kind of get an idea of what it looks like to you. But because this is a boat with an open top, I think that's going to be okay. And doesn't meat kind of shrink a little bit when you cook it? So side, pinch, and that's our little boat. It's going sailing. Okay, now I'm going to do, oh yeah. This one's not perfect. I'll do a boat. I think the thing that's nice about the boat shape as opposed to the other is if your piece isn't perfectly square, you can still make a nice little boat. And it's, you know, it's not as fussy. It's salt of the earth process, like the Armenians. We are salt of the earth. Okay, so this one's perfect to show the other technique. So I am going to take corner to corner and pinch, and corner to corner and pinch. And see, it's cute. It's very dumpling-esque. I am such a hot mess. Okay. You remember the egg mishap. Check this out. Now that I'm rolling this out. Hello, shell. But not only one, but here's another. Oh my God. I have never done that. And I've baked since I was a kid. What the heck? My people are after me. They're on a third. Yet a third. Here, proof. I know. There it is again. Little bit of eggshell for your enjoyment. So these are, we did a little of both, mostly the Armenian way and then this other way, which is the little hat dumpling. They are rough and ready. I had my helpers, my cameraman, director, and my spiritual advisor. And they help, so we've got a variety going here. So somebody said these, were not canoes, what is it? It was something. Kayaks, little meat kayaks. So I'm gonna put them in a 350-degree oven for about a half an hour. I said that already. Okay, here we go. Yikes. I don't know if these two will fit together. I have the broth just kind of doing its thing there. And then I am gonna shove that bad boy in. Gonna shove this bad boy in and adios, good luck. And I'm gonna set a timer for 15. Gonna flip everything, turn it, and then go. We just got this thing replaced and I don't know, timer, 15, timer, yes. Okay, so we've been going about 40 minutes, and so you can see how like the edges are brown. Ooh, the ones in the back are burnt, or not burnt, but they're like toasty. I did turn them halfway through, but I guess I should have turned them again. Oh no, it's not as bad as I thought. But oh, it smells good. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so do this, turn off the thing. Off. Okay, folks, here we go. It is the moment of truth. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to take a couple, oh, they're stuck together, but that's okay. So I guess don't have them touching like I did. And then I'm going to take a couple of these guys because I just want to be able to compare and contrast. I'll put another, so there's 10. You could do like 10 or 12 or whatever. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, we've got our little dudes in there. This is our broth that we made with the chicken stock and the tomato paste. So you're going to pour it over, and it's not a soup, so it's not gonna like be a soup. They're just kind of hanging out. It's like a hot tub, really. And then we are going to take our madzun, our full fat yogurt with the garlic in it, and you can see all the yummy chunks of garlic. And you're just gonna plop oh, well that wasn't very pretty, was it? There you go. We'll pretend that was it. And then I have some sumac here. So traditionally you sprinkle a little sumac or Aleppo pepper or both. I have some sumac. I will tell you, I have never tasted sumac. So here we go. So just a little sprinkling, make it look pretty, give it a little punch. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, I don't know how hot this is. Okay, I'm really nervous. This is a first. Me here on the show, Cooking High, trying my first real traditional Armenian dish. Okay, these guys are stuck together. As I said, don't let them touch. Okay, a little broth, a little thing, a little madzun. so good. But you get these, you really get like 3 separate flavors. It's like you get the meat and all the spices and that as you're crunching down, and then the acidity of the tomato sauce in there is like just kind of sings on your tongue. And the mazun, it just kind of mellows everything out, and it is delish. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to try the little pyramid dude and see. It's kind of big, so excuse me. I want some more of that. Okay. Mmm. 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 Chew it. Swallow the broth. Mmm. So good. I think we did it. I would say that I passed with a B. Okay? So, yeah, this is really good. It's work, but it's worth it. It would be great at a family meal where everyone was making all the little kayaks together. But it's fun for the kids. They learn how to cook. They get their heritage if they're Armenian, and if they're not, they're opened up to a whole new world. So, yay! Next episode, I have no idea what I'm going to do. So we'll just have to wait and see. So, I don't know the Armenian word for bon appetit. So, enjoy, thank you, and watch us next time at Cooking High.